Maybe you can ask yourself as if, do I need an exorcism? So let us take a look of this book, Resisting the Devil, from Neil Lozano. We will watch together if we do need an exorcism. Welcome back to my channel, and let's dive in together. Let's take a look.
Do I need an exorcism? The spiritual battle against the enslaving forces, the exorcism over a world blinded by demons, is an inseparable part of the spiritual way of Jesus and his disciples. Manfred Hauke. To examine exorcism and deliverance simply from a viewpoint of theory or theology is to miss the point. Exorcism and deliverance are ministries of compassion to real people with real struggles. One who comes for exorcism or deliverance is not unlike you or me. In fact, you might even identify with Rebecca. Note, some names have been altered for the sake of privacy. Rebecca grew up in a close-knit family. Her parents were members of the charismatic renewal and were deeply committed to their Catholic faith. Church, sacraments, family prayer, and prayer with guests were simply part of her youth. However, as a teen, she felt embarrassed about being religious and began to be drawn into the lives of her high school friends rather than family. She became rebellious against the Lord and the life that her parents offered to her. At age 25, she married a man with whom she had partied. As they went through the struggles of the first year of marriage, she and her husband came back to the Lord and the church. During the early years of marriage, they experienced a lot of healing, and as their conversion deepened, Rebecca would move from crisis to surrender. In one of these moments of awareness of her deep need, she asked her family to pray over her. As they prayed, her father suggested that she renounce the spirit of the Antichrist. Whether this was revelation from heaven or simply his idea, I don't know. When he mentioned the name of the Antichrist, she put her head in her hands and began to scream. She later described it as experiencing a fear that was far beyond anything she could imagine. It seemed to her not her own fear, but the devil's fear coming from the pit of hell. 2 days later, she came to my wife, Janet, for ministry. As she began to tell her story of what happened, fear gripped her again, and she found her face turning away from Janet, unable to look into her eyes. Does she need exorcism? Should Janet refer her to the diocese? We will come back to these questions at the end of the chapter, after we have clarified some of the confusions about exorcism and deliverance. Across the world in Africa, priests ask similar questions about their parishioners. Leaders there have come to expect manifestations of evil, such as grinding of teeth, falling to the floor in a tormented state, rolling back of the eyes, and even blacking out. Janet and I were in Kenya 5 years ago, teaching parish leaders how to approach deliverance ministry in a way that would provoke very little, if any, manifestations. The leaders were so relieved when they saw that the Lord set people free without a big disturbance. "Oh, you mean we don't have to shout anymore?" they asked us. A declaration of liberation as much as a question. But this doesn't work in all cases, does it? "Why do you ask?" I replied. Recently, we were asked by the parish priest of a border town to do a Life in the Spirit seminar. When we mentioned the name of Jesus, about 80 people fell on the ground manifesting demonically. After this happened, the leaders left that outreach very frustrated and discouraged. Later, they discovered that in that town, straddling Tanzania and Kenya, everyone had been dedicated to the devil as a child. It was no wonder that so many reacted to the name of Jesus. Did all these people need exorcisms then? If they all did, where could the leaders find enough priests to help all of them? Or did they need deliverance? Again, let's return to these questions after a discussion that explains the difference between exorcism and deliverance.
Thank you very much, buddy, for watching my videos. If you like the videos, hit like, hit the notification bell, and subscribe, so that you can see what is the next videos to upload. So that is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you next video. Bye-bye.